In the first month that I was diagnosed, I actually found that a lot of my friends were really distant and didn't know what to say and didn't know how to be there for me. Slowly, I think, especially since I've started writing this column, people have reached out to me, and it's taught me a lot about forgiveness and just how difficult it is to discuss things like cancer and to accept and deal with the fact that someone you love is suffering.
You know, being in your 20s, some people have experienced loss or hardship or illness, but plenty of people in their 20s haven't. I think when you're a young adult undergoing cancer treatment, you need your friends more than maybe other people in the same situation.
Okay. Jenna and I met Suleika about a month ago.
Your only other support system at that point is your group of friends.
Suleika introduced herself right away, and we chatted a bit about hairdos and treatments. For me, the most surprising thing about my cancer experience is the vast amount of weirdness involved. I have found that some cab drivers are more comfortable talking about my having cancer than some of my friends.
Thank you. I'm Mara. I went to Princeton with Suleika, and she's one of my best friends.
It was one of the first times that I've ever been close to someone who was my age who was going through something like that. At the beginning, I still didn't know how to talk about a lot of the different parts of her illness with her. I felt much more uncomfortable saying like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to this party now after we've just talked about how scary it is going to be for you to be going through chemotherapy, right? That's not a usual, I'm not used to saying that sentence. But at the same time, we're still 22, 23-year-old girls. That's kind of what we talk about a lot. And she doesn't want our friendship to shift so much that suddenly it's only about this thing that's sort of larger than the two of us. With some of the harder things that she's gone through, just telling her that I was scared too and that I was super confused and didn't know what to say was helpful. Because you do want your friends to be real with you, right? For me to be looking at her and saying like everything's gonna be okay, it's like, how do you know that? She's often looking for someone to listen to her, not to give her any answers, which is good because I have no answers.
Seamus and Mara, say hi. They're stepping out.
There's no question that we've become closer through this. And I think a lot of it is because our friendship feels grounded in something much realer than other relationships that I have. And I think I've also become better at just telling her how much I care about her all the time, because that seems like something worth saying a lot. I sort of thought this time around her being in the hospital would be, that I'd sort of seen a lot of what I was going to be seeing. And I don't think it ever gets easier. What she just endured, I think, is so unlike anything most people I know will ever experience physically. So the fact that she's sort of through a part of it is a really big relief.
As I started feeling really sick physically and vulnerable emotionally, I found myself really only wanting to see my family and my boyfriend and my very best friends, like Mara. They've seen me at the highest points in this journey and at my very, very lowest points. So this is a really strange time because I'm no longer in the hospital, but at the same time, I'm still in a very critical condition and I'm in and out of the hospital and things could happen at any moment. There are so many risks, especially in the first 100 days of the transplant. So even though today, for example, I'm feeling relatively strong and stable, it does feel like there's a bit of a cloud hanging over my head. So it's hard to know how to feel. Lots of people are congratulating me on being out of the hospital, and I think they're right to congratulate me. I'm certainly very excited to be out of the hospital, but at the same time, I'm not out of the woods yet, so it's a bit of a premature celebration, and I'm very hesitant to claim any sort of victory for fear that something might go wrong in the coming weeks or months. But I'm taking things hour by hour and really trying my hardest to be positive and to be hopeful.